All right, so on this 03 Acura CL, I'm gonna pull this fuel pump access door off here. Let's see what we got here. Stuck on there pretty good. A nice gasket. That's good. Alright, so got a pretty short wire. You can get this grommet, push it through if you want to, but I'll probably just take this off. But I'm going to wash this off first before I pull anything out. Okay, so it's on. Let me see where it's at. Let me turn this recording on real quick. Okay, this is the plug. You push this in here and plug that. That's what the plug looks like. I put some WD-40 on here, and you need to cover it up with a rag so that if there's any pressure in these lines, you don't get sprayed in the face. I think this is just the vent line. So you don't want to be too careful. That's a return line, yeah. You don't want to be too careful with that, with those lines, because there's fuel coming out. You hear that? All right. So we got the two lines loose. We'll push those up out of the way. They can just fit right here. Yeah, those just go right there. There's not any fuel pouring out, so it'll be all right. You get these, boy, it's got a lot of bolts in it. Lots of 7mm. You get these bolts out. All right, so I got all those screws out. Spent a lot of time on this clamp here. It's really because you can't see it, but it's just a hose there. It's like a vent hose harness that's floating around here, and just kind of have to manipulate your way around that. Just push it back out of the way the best you can. Took all those bolts out. They were all about the same length. And once you get this thing out, it's going to be full of gas. So you're going to tilt it and it's going to spill gas probably. Let me look in there. Yeah, looks like it. Just let it drain out for a moment. Okay, so I've got everything out. This is the fuel pump that I got. It's a Precision E16006. It says it's made in China right there. It's a lifetime warranty. It probably cost about $100. And then this thing here is a import direct. You have to have a strainer. That's what this little guy is called here. Strainer, filter, whatever. It's like, I don't know, half the size of the one that's originally on there. And that's pretty cheap too. It's really not that expensive, maybe 20 bucks. So this is all the junk that you get in the kit. Get new O-rings and isolator, vibration dampener isolator doodad, piece of hose. Now be careful about this type of hose. Don't throw this away. If you don't use it, keep it. This type of hose is made for being inside of a fuel tank, okay? If you just use this regular old hose, it will swell all up, fall apart. So it comes with a couple of clamps and a new wire and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to use any of that stuff. So, well, maybe inside the pump. We'll look at the wire that's in there. So this is what that little guy looks like. Gasket doesn't look anything like the gasket that was on it, so I might have to reuse this gasket maybe. Just have to clean it up. But yeah, that pump's going to go in there, and it looks like we can just pop all these little guys off. Let me wash my hands off a little bit. That's how. Looks like it comes out the bottom. Yeah, that gasket that came with it doesn't look anything like this gasket here, so probably be reusing this gasket. kind of surprised about that. As long as the pump fits, I don't really care. Let's see here. Got a couple of little nylon doodads on here to pull back. We don't care much about this stuff that's on there now. Let's see here. And this looks like that plug that came in that kit. Got that unplugged. Let's see about this clamp here. Use a different pair of pliers. Just while you're working on this, just be careful with that float sensor here and don't ding it all up. Bang on it and bend it and whatever. There we go. That's the way you do it. Kind of run it like you own it, right? Sucker just comes flying out of there. So that's what you need. Let's compare apples for apples. Well, it looks the same. I'll make sure and put that filter. Doesn't look like the screen has many options. It has a small hole on it, and it looks like it's going to make it go like this. There's only one way for it to go on there. I'll have to do it without holding this one. And here's one of those little rubber isolator things. It comes with this. Comes with that little guy, and you see how the factory one has that little metal ring there. And I didn't see a new one of those come with the kit, so I might see about popping that one off and using that one. But yeah, that's it. Alright, so I messed around with that old screen and ripped that thing off. Basically what I had to do is, and I got a pick and I busted the nylon all around until I had enough space under this little retaining ring here to get under it and push it off. But this is it here. It's on the new pump now. I looked at the isolator that was on the old pump and compared it to the new one, and I like the way the old one fits better, so I'm going to use the old isolator on there. I just like the way it fits. Fits on there better, and it's snug. It just doesn't seem like that other one was made for it, so I'm gonna skip the other one and put the factory one back on there. But and the plug, let's see here, I didn't look at the plug yet. Here's the plug. Plug looks like, yep, it looks like it's the same. Same plug, so the original plug will work and it looks in good shape. I like these spring type clamps, so I'm going to reuse these. Just be careful when you're doing any of this type of stuff. There's gas here, okay? And I've got a fan running all the time, and I have a fire extinguisher sitting right here, okay? And just take note of the orientation of these little clamps, okay? I'm going to put these clamps back on and orient them on the new pump, the same exact place. That may not matter to some people, but it matters to me, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Get this new hose and I'm going to cut it to length. I'm going to get something to cut it. Alright, so I've got my new hose here. Got some cutters here. Give it the old 1-2 cut there. There we go. Success. Pump Uh-oh. Orient that sucker right way. That sucker is a tight one. New hose fits nice. Let's see how these clamps go. I'm hoping to use these clamps, but if this hose is a different OD, I may not get the right clamping force. Let's see how they go, how it goes here. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Try to orient that sucker the way it was. I think before that hose was pushed up a little farther. Yeah, I think this hose here is a little bit bigger around than what was on there. Let's look. It's pretty close, pretty close. Good enough for me. Put this other one on here. I'm just hoping this gasket situation is going to work out, because it came with all these other types of gaskets for everybody else. It didn't come with that big style, the real large style gasket. I'm gonna have to take that gasket off and clean it up real nice, so we'll seal properly. Let me get this pump on there first, and we'll mess with that in a minute. So all you need to do is slide this sucker in. You'll have to back it up nice because that new hose is tight. You push it on there. There we go. So I just put it between my legs, and I had to use my thumb, put it between my legs, and I pushed it together like this. I used my thumb to guide it a little bit because that hose was bowing, so I didn't want it to bow too much, but I'm going to get that little guy to go like this and get in there. There we go. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, so I did notice just now that my plug is off a little bit, and that's not going to bother me for it to be turned a little bit. And what would matter the most is if this sock here, if it interfered with the float, then yeah, I would have to loosen the clamp and turn it a little bit like this. But right now, the way everything sets, it's fine. And so where we're at now is I just need to get this little guy here and click it back on. It has 3 places for it to click. Looks like there's only one way for it to go. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Everybody's clicked on. Pump is done. Now I just need to get this gasket off. I'm going to take this gasket off and rinse it off real nice and pretty so that it's brand new. Just clean, as in clean. It's got it all cleaned up nice and pretty. Everybody's on there. I'm going to lube this. This is where the gasket sets in this area. This is where the seal happens. So I'm going to lube this area, and I'm going to lube my gasket and put it together. Alright, so I've got the gasket all lubed up. Put some silicone on there. It's got 3 little dum-dums on there, but one of the dum-dums is the larger size. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's bigger than the other 2. This one will orient the gasket in the correct place, okay? So that's how it's supposed to go. There's nothing you can do about it. So that's how it works. So I hope this helps someone. I'm going to go put this thing back in, and that's going to be the end of the video. If you like this video, please comment and subscribe, and y'all have a good day.